The joke is they're all gonna land on the island and solve this mystery themselves.
Oh, they fucking better. Alright, I just went live, so we are now live. Let me go ahead and start promoing.
Yeah. So we're live also on Podbean.
Dope.
Live show coming at you. Woo!
Woo! Let me go ahead and post some of the links.
Posting in, well, my Discord has it, Twitter has it, Facebook has it.
Oh, I forgot to start the timer. Shit. I'll just remove a minute.
I'll put it in the Geeker stream as well.
I was about to do that. Go for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I mean, you probably have the better time. I forgot you were in there. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Oh, damn it.
You've been in there longer than I have. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, I've known the guy for 6 years.
I've known him for 13.
13 years?
On that. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
no.
Longer than
That's
a decade,
fair.
For sure.
That's fair. So are you also from Florida?
No. My wife is from Florida. I'm from Trinidad, where I currently live right now. I should say my ex-wife. We are separated, but we're on good terms. It's fine.
Well, I'm not on good terms with my ex-wife, and that's okay with me.
But we're actually looking to get divorced soon because I have a girlfriend who's now currently in Australia. So that's a whole new set of issues right there. But I'll probably give you that story too. That's a horrible story.
Yeah, okay. Did Me6 break?
Yeah.
There it is. I'm waiting for it to like announce that we're live, but. Alright.
Yeah, we.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
I want to figure out a way I can look at your guys' stream chat while we're in here. So I'll just pop out your stream chat and mute your stream.
That's cool.
That should work.
Yeah. Do I not have you as Great Wolf? Are you? Did I give you the nickname TFTouya?
I did that.
Okay, cool.
I did that because I knew it would be confusing. Nice. Oh, that is one of my friends in your chat.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
I guess I should pull up the chat now.
Yeah.
My bad, everybody.
Oh, there's an underscore between our name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It goes,
there we go.
new computer, who dat?
Who dat? Oh, that's okay. Here we go. I hope I tagged you right.
Yeah, that is tagged right.
Alright,
So
I think our
friends in the
timer
chat
went
already.
off. Dope. So let me go ahead and run the music. I'm all over the place today.
Alright.
Start over. Rude.
We're starting.
Hey. What's up, everyone? How are y'all doing today? I really shouldn't do that. Hold up. Because then I can't hear shit.
Hi, everyone.
Y'all having a good day? What's up, Geekers? Talon, Cafeteria, Slim Scarlet, Mojo Moud, Toya. Hey, wait, you're in chat too?
Yeah, I can't hear the music, by the way. I'm just bopping my head along just to...
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, guys, what's up? Welcome to the Circle of Jerks. I see that you can see everything in our Discord, and I've already fixed that. I am Alan/PeachZ90. I am accompanied by Crazy EB, also known as Ethan, and we have our very special guest down below in this little corner, coming in a red shirt and with a Nat 15 charisma roll, TFTouya.
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing?
Can you guys hear him all right?
You get closer to my mic, I guess. Test 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is that okay?
Cool. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I'm just keeping an eye on levels. I'm like all over the screens. What's up, Talon?
Yeah, you're gonna get a few of my friends in here as well. A few of my viewers and my
Dope.
people from my D&D game.
Hey,
yeah.
I like talking D&D. No, they are all welcome. Welcome to the stream, guys. You know this nerd. He's cool. Is he cool to have on the podcast?
Verdict's still out.
Okay. The vote is still out. The jury's still out.
Yeah, jury's still out on that one, yeah.
So what's up, Touya? How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. Finished up a day at work. I'm working partially from home, partially at the office, because my country is currently in a second phase COVID lockdown, but we're sort of easing up from it. So this week I'm home Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and being that I'm at home on Friday is when we usually do our D&D game. Whatever Fridays I'm home, we play on those days. So twice a month, we run a game from 7 p.m. my time to whenever it takes for us to finish a session. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. If you don't mind me asking, what world is your D&D campaign in? Because Ethan and I, we're in like in 2.
That's the fun part. So it is a world made up by me, but it is so if you've seen the icon that I have, it says a pop culture D&D game. And what it is I have these 6 friends, 5 of whom I'm very familiar with. One of them I am not so familiar with. But of these 5 friends, I've decided that I made a world where several continents have been pulled together into a giant like continental map from different parts of the multiverse, and each one is based on a thing that one of my friends is a fan of. So far,
that sounds
we've been
badass.
to a world. Yeah, so far we start off with my fandom, which we start off in a world based on Welcome to Night Vale. We then moved to a world based on AEW wrestling. So it was a town where, in order to pick their leader, they have to have a big wrestling tournament. We then went from there to, help me out, guys. Where did we go next after there? We went to.
Come on, Chad, help him out.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
We took a vote, right? We took a vote as to where we're going next, and I think we went to
South City.
South City, which is based on fighting games, which is a shared thing between me and my friend Mo. I should say that AEW Wrestling was my friend Joe, who plays Arkham, who is our chaotic wizard who thinks he's a god of chaos. We're not really sure if he is or not. He's just kind of crazy. So we went to South City, which is my friend Mo. Mo's character is our thief, Karel Llewellyn. There are too many L's in that name. That place is based on fighting games. So we fought Heihachi Mishima from Tekken. We ended up fighting M. Bison from Street Fighter, and then Akuma in his Oni form was the final boss of that world. We then went to, I believe, the Yawning Maw, which is based on Monster Hunter, which is from my friend Benji.
Hey.
He plays a character named Thuck, who is a giant green barbarian who used to be a mild-mannered man of science who turned. You see where this is going?
So kind of like Cole.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's cool.
The best part is he stays in the hulked-up version of himself for the whole game. So he's this big, strong barbarian. When they voted to go to Yawning Maw, I told them, "Hey, guess what? Thuck just turned back into a human, and you guys don't know why. Here's a new character sheet. Figure it out."
That sounds like a good thing to do on my campaign.
Honestly, he was killing a lot of my monsters, and I had to get rid of him somehow.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So this is a little DM behind the screen.
Basically, yeah. Well, no, he knows this. And we just finished Yawning Maw 2 weeks ago, and this week we're going to the Sanguine Gulch, which is for my girlfriend Lauren, who loves vampires. So it's going to be a vampire-based world, and that I'm not going to give any specifics on because they need to be surprised. So and I do like to throw. I do like to throw in little surprises, and I will give you my favorite surprise I threw at them last
Shout out to you, Rusty. Got a rip.
Yo. So
go on, sorry.
No problem. So last session, we were in the Monster Hunter world, and they went off on this expedition to fight the Zora Magdaros, and I told them that they had to go to a temple called the Temple of the Ura Ark, and I didn't explain what this was. The further they go into this temple, the more things start to seem like metallic and shiny, and it starts to look less like a temple and more like a laboratory. And that's when they got to this big room with all these test tubes in it that are broken open. And on the wall, it says Ura Ark, and there's some writing under it, but it's like grown over with moss. And I told them, roll some perception, see if you can clear up that moss. When they cleared it up and cleared around the letters around Ura Ark, it says Jurassic Park Incubation Facility.
Oh, no!
So the implication being that Monster Hunter is just a world where Jurassic Park went horribly wrong. I love doing this to my friend, and half the time I make this stuff up on the fly. I come up with it while we're playing, and I throw it in. I come up with entire puzzles that have just been me trying to figure stuff out while we're playing. And So far, I think my team likes it. Oh, I forgot one. Sorry, I forgot. There's one place we haven't been to yet under the mystery world. I'm mentioning this because I don't want to leave out one of my favorite players. My friend Danny. She is playing our monk, Kai, and I just didn't want to forget her name. Her world, and they already know this because I've kind of let out the secret with the names. Her world is based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So if you know anything about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and how that world works, there's going to be a whole new set of D&D rules based around that. Because for anybody who doesn't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, every character in JoJo has what's called a stand, which is a physical manifestation of their superpowers. It's like a second person that stands next to them that has their powers. You can kind of see where that's going combat-wise. That's going to be insane, and I can't... Because I've been making up new rules to go along with it. So, like, when we went to the fighting game world, I made up a rule where you had 7 stamina points up on top of your regular combat rolls. And so what would happen is you would have to declare if your attack was light, medium, or hard, and that would use a certain amount of stamina points. You could keep going until you ran out of those stamina points. So you could do like 3 light attacks in a row. You could do a light, medium, and heavy. Actually, you could do 6 light attacks in a row. And basically what I was trying to get my players to do is build combos like you would in a fighting game.
Okay.
And I like doing that. I like messing with the regular D&D format because I think it keeps the players on their toes and it prevents it from being, oh no, not another combat encounter, you know? So I like to come up with stuff like that. I like to mess with the rules. Sometimes it doesn't work and I end up killing somebody in one shot. I'm not a great DM, okay? I'm just going to say that right now. Numbers are not my thing. I'm an artist. I don't do numbers well. So sometimes people just die. Them's the break.
I mean, characters are supposed to die, right, Ethan?
Yeah, party kill.
I'm getting some shout-outs in the chat saying that I'm a very good DM. Thank you,
What's
guys.
up,
I appreciate
Iron? Hey, real quick, guys, if you have not followed Iron Tech yet, I suggest you should. And I'm going to do a millennial shout-out for...
Iron Tech is a great guy.
Yeah.
Really fantastic guy.
Yeah, and I know Geeker streamed today, so I'm going to give him the shout-out, too.
Yeah.
I'm one of his mods, too. I got to do my due diligence. And if you guys notice, we got some really nice graphics now.
And I'm gonna apologize if in case I sort of like took over Geeker's stream because now he's just like totally streaming Destiny almost all the time. That's my fault. I do not apologize.
You shouldn't apologize. It's a great game. Hell, I started playing it. I need to go through the storyline. What's up, also, Extreme?
I'm gonna point out, such a Destiny fan. Destiny tattoo right there.
Nice.
Sunbreaker for life.
I don't have some, but real quick, I'm gonna give Extreme Cook a shout out because I know he streams, and that's all the shout outs I'm doing for the next hour.
I see Iron. Give me a shout out. Hey, Iron. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Right. Welcome to the stream. So, I have to say that I take a lot. I take my DM planning very, very seriously, as sometimes I kind of fail to do a little improvisation, as Ethan can help with that. I usually let them
I don't really
names.
help the situation because I make him improv more.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm grabbing something to show you my plannings. So I have this lovely Destiny themed notebook that my friend in chat, Kafira, bought for me like 2 Christmases ago.
That's pretty.
She intended for me to use it as a sketchbook, and it was so pretty I never wanted to soil it with my sketches. So what I started using it as is a D&D planner. So like in here is all the secret notes about what is in treasure chest and how the story turns out. And as you can see, it's like a lot of, oh wait, guess what, guys? That's for the town that's coming up soon. So I hope you screenshotted that.
So there's a VOD, and this will be available on YouTube. I'll see if I can blur that out.
They can't figure out my handwriting anyway. And plus, if you see my notes, let me look for like. Okay, so like my notes are indecipherable to anybody except me. Like, okay, so this was the South City note set. Nobody can figure that out, okay? This is just for me. This is written in code.
Hold on. Let me try to figure this out. So South City, floor, total TPK, maybe not, revival, total TPK again. By the way, there's a song by Yazik. He's a YouTuber and kind of a rapper as well. He specifically raps about D&D games. There's a song that he does that's called TPK, Total Party Kill. I have it.
That's his theme song.
Yeah, it's my theme song. I like to scare them.
There's a joke with me and my friends that if we're ever sitting watching a movie or watching a TV show or watching wrestling and they see me reach for this book, they know, oh no, something from this is going to show up in the D&D game on Friday. And that's happened multiple times.
I've been setting up to do my first campaign as DM, and it's going to be interesting for sure. I know. Well, it's gonna kind of just be all. It's just gonna be one shot, and it's gonna be pretty much a world I create, and
nice.
Completely
it's just
homebrew.
good luck, Alan. All I can say.
all for it, man. I'm excited.
So I'll actually, speaking of world building, I'll give you guys a heads up on another campaign because this campaign should be done within the next couple of months. We have like maybe 2 or 3 more sessions to go. Actually, let's say about 6 sessions total. After that, we're going to play. Mo, my friend, is going to DM for the first time. He's going to DM for our group for the first time. He's going to run the classic Curse of Strahd.
Oh, nice.
We've never played that, so we're gonna go into that fresh. When we're done with that, I'm actually going to create a whole new world, I'm going to use 5e combat settings, but everything else is going to be different. I'm going to make a Caribbean punk setting. Because it occurs to me, it occurs to me, living in the Caribbean, I know a lot of Caribbean mythology, and I know a lot about the setting and about the history. So I'm thinking, why not? Because here's the thing. In D&D, a lot of that is either Greco-Roman or Western mythology. You have your dragons, your cyclopses, all these things, right? And we use them to death. Like, we use them all the time. Why not adapt some of the more esoteric and obscure things? Like for instance, I'll give you an example. There's a thing in Trinidadian mythology, which is the island I'm from, called the Sukuya. It's a modification of a French word. Tell me this doesn't sound like a D&D villain. A Sukuya is an old woman who lives somewhere on the edge of your town. She seems very nice, but at night, she peels her skin off and becomes a fiery, flaming demon that flies into houses where young single men live and drains their life force from their body.
I have one question.
Yes.
Why? Why would you do this?
Happen? Why do any of these things happen?
I like how this scares Extreme Cook, but yet all he streams is horror games. You know.
And my friend Professor Puy in the chat says you'll be fighting Sukuyas, and then when I said that, he said he's also from this island. He lives in Ireland right now, but he's originally from this island as well. So by the way, the way you kill a Sukuya, to give a little hint to the people who are watching who may be playing later, but this is actual mythology, you are to find her skin while she's out and rub peppers into the skin so that when she puts it on, she will be in pain. That's how you kill a Sukuya. I mean, it's no different than like a cross or garlic, right? In fact, you put the garlic and the pepper together there, you have a meal. Yeah. Anyway. I mean, so there's a wellspring, and I'm not just using from my island, there's different legends on different islands.
Salt.
I'm gonna pull from all of that. Yeah, just make my own setting. And like it'll be like fantasy islands. They'll have different names, but all these things will be based on the stuff that's from our islands that people maybe have never heard of, and that'll be to my advantage because it'll be surprising to the people playing.
That's pretty cool. So to kind of fill you in on our main campaign, our 1 to 20, which is the one I've been working on, I took Faerun and just kind of started homebrewing little things here and there where I could, and I homebrewed an entire collection of islands so that they could go retrieve a mythical item and then, hey, thanks for that follow, and have to make their way back to the mainland. And I have them going back to one of the starting towns, but then they're not going to like what they find. I'm going to give them a hint, and they're all like in chat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Since most of mine are going to be in the chat, I will give one hint. It's going to be based off a video game, or the overall is going to be based off a video game with a shirt that Alan's wearing right now. From the shirt Alan's wearing right now.
It's Ocarina of Time.
It's gonna be Quest 64, right?
I just guessed.
You know that.
Right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it's gonna be that amazing game Quest 64, isn't it?
Sorry,
that game's great. Like everyone remembers that one.
Sorry,
we're waiting on Alan to play it. I have to let Alan borrow it so he can play it.
Wait, Alan's never played Ocarina of Time?
No, Quest 64.
No, I've beat Ocarina of Time multiple times.
Yeah, no.
I've started Quest 64, but I haven't finished it.
Yeah. Talk to Geekers about Quest 64. That game ruined his life.
Hey, Geekers, you still in chat? Hey, Geekers.
He probably is.
There he is. You're going to fight Mechagodzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah while cooking a vat of fried chicken.
You know, I hadn't considered incorporating Godzilla into my game, but hold on a second. Where's my book?
So,
he just got the Quest 64 thing. Okay, good.
Okay, awesome. I keep all of my DM notes in OneNote, and I would show y'all, but then I would start like covering the Discord stream, and I don't
Oh,
want to
real
kind of
quick,
break that apart.
Real quick, shout out to my boy Strongy Smurf in chat. That is my local friend Warren. Warren
What's up,
designed.
Smurf?
Warren designed a board game based on Trinidadian culture that he asked me to do artwork for, and that is currently available in stores locally here and online. If you look up Santi Manite, I'll probably type it in the chat in a little bit. It is a board game with trivia cards about Trinidadian culture, and it's a race to the finish, and it's fantastic. You pick one of several characters that I helped Warren draw, and if you guys have any interest in Trinidadian culture or board games in general, I strongly suggest you check it out. Shout outs to Strongy Smurf.
What's up? Is that the name of it? Sentimentai?
Sentimentai, there it is. Okay. So yeah, and he can probably drop in the link of where you can go to purchase it. Sentimentai Race to the Stage. Thank you, Professor Wood. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing the board game thing. I mean, at least helping other people design them for a while. So D&D came like as a chance for me to stretch my legs creatively. And who knows, if the D&D campaign with the Caribbean Punk thing takes off, maybe I'll make that into a game by itself. Because I mean, I do visual design. I could do the art for it. Literally half of the art for it, I'm actually going to pull from an old project where I was trying to design a video game, like a Legend of Zelda style video game around Caribbean culture. Never really took off, but I have all this art I'm sitting on. I might as well use it.
Yeah, no, just like NJ said, we're massive tabletop players. Like,
oh yeah.
Let me hold on.
Okay. I've only recently started to get into it. Like I've only been playing D&D for like the last couple of years due to my friend Joe, who's in our game. He DM'd our last game. Before that, like I played a couple of times before, but nothing really strong. Oh, I do have to give shout out to my friend Professor Puya again, because I once hijacked the end of a D&D game that he wrote, and I think I made it better according to him. But let me see your thing first. So then you want to show me something real quick.
So we're like big on tabletop games. Mm-hmm. Ethan introduced me to Legendary, the DC deck building game, but we were the Marvel deck building game, but we were introduced to deck building games via our other friend. And
which was DC deck building.
Yeah, it was just DC deck building, but I essentially bought this fucker just for that.
Oh man, I haven't seen that in forever.
And I have so in here is a base game along with Civil War, and I have Secret Wars Volume 1 and 2 and a Secret Wars box because they just wouldn't fucking fit in this box. And then we have Catan. We have several expansions of Catan.
Yeah.
What expansion do you have, Ethan? I don't remember.
I have all of them now. I bought them all.
Jesus. Fuck, really?
Yeah. I got the Night City, Seafarers. I can't name them all at the moment.
If we're also going to mention tabletop, I also want to give a shout out to Kefira87, who's in the chat right now, and her husband Brendan Alexi. Both of them are great tabletop players. They introduced me to a lot of tabletop as well. Brendan DMs really well. Kefira DMs as well. Really, she did a one shot for us that was fantastic. They are super good at DMing. They're super good at board games. Kefira, you can give her she doesn't really stream a lot, but her husband, if she wants to drop his Twitch channel in there, you can give him a follow as well. He's big into board games as well. Yeah. He's also local. They're both local poets, actually. I have books written. So as you can see, I'm sort of like tied in with the arts culture in Trinidad and Tobago, and a lot of friends of mine are artists, and it's just a big community of those people. My cat wants in. Hi, cat. How you doing?
And hey, that's badass. The fact that you're like going into the whole art culture. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, I've
That's
always been a big proponent of that. My art is not the typical art that people get in the Caribbean. I don't do like landscapes and beaches and stuff. This is my cat White. Say hi, White. I do a lot of furry art. I mean, that's a thing that pays the bills. I do lots of cartoony stuff. I do lots of character design and stuff like that. So, that's kind of where my art's at right now. What are you doing? Cat, what are you doing?
Showing us the butt.
Oh, she's so weird. Anyway, so I was gonna tell you guys about the time I hijacked someone's D&D campaign. So my friend Ringus, Professor Pui, had us do a Christmas one shot. Was it Christmas or New Year's, Ringus? I think it was around the time. And so we were gonna go all night playing this game, and he specifically asked us to all roll evil characters because our friend Brendan, who was also in the game, only plays good characters, and we wanted to force him to play an evil character. So we all rolled evil characters. My character was a death metal bard. He was a bard, but he was like this elf with like corpse paint on his face. Yeah, cool. So it turns out the one shot was about, he pulled a story off of Reddit, a one shot pre-made off of Reddit, and it was that we were going to be hired by a toy company to fight against a rival toy company and take them out and possibly, run them out of business. It turned out that the rival toy company was run by Santa Claus, but it was Santa Claus under the control of an infernal crown that made him like possessed. So at a certain point during the fight with Santa, the crown falls off his head. And so just on a whim, I had my character run after it and try to grab it. And all the other characters are like, oh no, don't let him grab it. This will be awful. And then I decide to do a double twist on them. And this is all me at this point. I grab the crown, I stare at them, and with tears running down my character's face, I go, I'm buying you fools time. You need to run. And he puts the helmet on and starts turning. And so they run. And so we get to the end of the one shot, and Ringus's ending is that they get to the other guys. The guy name is Quentin. They get to Quentin's toy company, and Quentin pays them like a paltry 500 gold each, and he's gonna have them go on their way. And I'm like, Ringus, can I do something? So I start writing the story where a black cloud of smoke forms behind Quentin, and you can see a distended, long, elongated skeletal body of the heavy metal bard wearing the crown show up, and he just stands behind Quentin and goes, hello, Quentin.
Oh, shit.
And then he starts like telling him that how he's going to have a forced takeover of Quentin's business, and all the people here who were here, who helped on this little adventure, they will be safe. Their children's children will be safe. They'll be paid handsomely for their retainership of guarding my new venture. And before I disappeared in a puff of smoke, I had my character say, by the way, the host vessel of this body would like to thank you for a wonderful time.
Oh, fuck.
And I thought it was a better ending. I just threw it out there, and everyone sort of loved it. So, I mean, I've been known to improvise on the spot and just hijack other people's games, I guess.
Yeah, you totally retcon whatever end he had before. If that's even possible.
Look, shout out to whoever on Reddit wrote that original adventure. I didn't like the ending. That's all I'm saying.
We get yelled at if we try to help or improvise in our campaigin.
Why? That's the best part of D&D.
What are you talking about? I don't yell at you. I just make you roll for it.
But like, I feel like D&D should be about as much of the players making up their way through the story as it is about the DM rolling with what they give them. I mean, my players murdered an important NPC in our first town, and I have still not recovered from that because there was like 5 whole pages of stuff that just got thrown out the window because they murdered the guy with that information.
Good luck trying to get out of that town now.
Right.
She stabs him through the chest and goes, I thought we were going to roll initiative. Like, you stabbed him through the chest, though. You don't get to roll initiative after that. He wasn't prepared.
You killed him.
It was an accident. Oh, there's my girlfriend. Hi, Lloyd. I swear I protested.
Is that your girlfriend?
That is my girlfriend, Gaming with Laws.
Hi, girlfriend.
She streams JRPGs. She's a big fan, and she's playing Trails of Cold Steel 3 right now, I believe. And she's loving the heck out of it. Not streaming it so much, but she is playing it. I know she's enjoying it a lot. She hasn't streamed it in a while, but I hope she's gonna.
So NJ just reminded me, when I started their campaign, I started them like in Amn. In Faerun, so way on the west side, and I had them go up against a couple of kobolds. Well, my fiance's character is a neutral good moon elf. Correct me if I'm wrong, babes. But I don't know how it got to it, but apparently within Kenkus in our realm, the size of their nipples will exemplify how strong they are, and they started carving their nipples out, kind of like the scalps from
Actually,
Inglourious
she
Basterds.
started it.
Yeah, she started it.
The rest of us were not that weird.
She's got a chain of them on her
that is
on
storytelling,
her belt.
let me tell you. Jesus.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Bye, Cat.
I mean, I've heard weirder things. Trust me. I mean, just saying. Like, I mean, that's a pretty good storyline to roll with there, right there. Yeah.
I mean, NADPod, not another D&D podcast. They Beverly Toggle the Fifth collected teeth. So it's not too weird.
Compared to nipples, that sounds fairly reasonable. Honestly.
Yeah, it's fairly reasonable.
Teeth, fine.
Could you imagine coming up on like
what nipples? I
6
only
dead
have
bodies with no nipples?
She's got like 9, I think. No, 12, somewhere around there.
I'm re-envisioning the opening of Predator where they find the skin bodies, except it's bodies without nipples.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how they left them. They didn't even bother to like kick him off to the side, just middle of the road. Nipples. The bodies without nipples.
In Lauren's defense, she says, it really wasn't Annika's fault that guy couldn't take a stabbing. I'm just gonna leave that there because I don't.
Well, not every NPC is meant to take a stabbing.
Well, to be fair, this guy was kind of a jerk, so maybe she thought like he had like extra jerk point armor or something. That's totally reasonable.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He was a jerk.
Plot armor.
That's why I give all the guards plate mail in our campaign.
Also, fun story about me and the girlfriend. We've actually known each other for about more than 10 years now, about more than a decade. We live on different ends of the earth. I live in Trinidad, she lives in Australia. So, I mean, we've been friends for a long time. I recently got out of a marriage that is still pending separation. And I've been single for a while. She was single for a while. And we just kind of playfully flirt with each other every now and then. Just, haha, friend stuff. You're so funny, dork, whatever, And one day, our friend Mo, who's also in chat, goes, "Why aren't you two dating?" And there was a silence, a ponderous silence, where you could feel the gears turning in people's heads, and we just, you're so funny, Mo. About a week later, we were confessing love for each other. Was it about a week? It was about a week, right? I'm trying to remember. But
she's gonna give you down to the second watch.
She has that written somewhere.
I think we know the exact date. Mo says, "What can I say except you're welcome?"
You're welcome. You have to sing it, dude.
So you're saying Mo's the ultimate wingman?
Yeah.
Lauren says about that. What does about that mean, honey? You have me a little scared now. Is it that she actually knows the time? Oh no, she actually knows the time and date because there's timestamps on the chat message, isn't there?
So guys, it's been a great episode. I hope you guys have a great evening. I'm just kidding.
She says, "I think about a week is right." Yeah, she probably went and double checked it. That's fine. I will. I'm gonna ask her permission to tell the sweetest part of the story, which is about the written story. Can I tell that part? I think I can tell that part. I'm gonna talk about her.
We're gonna take silence as a no, or silence as a yes.
Yep. Yeah. There you go.
I'm getting yeses from other people. That's Danny. That's one of my other D&D players.
What's up? He's coming in clutch.
But I love her so much. We are very good for each other. We help each other through very rough times. We are very supportive of each other. So the time difference is kind of the weird part, because how it works is we're basically in opposite time zones, and she's like a day ahead, like half a day ahead.
She's in the future.
She's in the future. So when I am just getting off of work, she is just waking up. And when I am waking up, she's just finishing work and about to go to bed. So the funny thing is, it's so opposite that it kind of works. So we get some time with each other between sleep and wake. And she hasn't responded about the story bit, so I'm not going to tell that part if she doesn't want me to tell. Okay. But that trust me, it was very cute. I love her so much, and she's been a good thing for me creatively and personally and developmentally, and helped me through some really hard times. And I'm really glad that we are together and that we decided to make a run of it. We were supposed to meet this year. We were either going to take a trip to Japan, or she was going to come here to Trinidad to visit. Mm-hmm. Of course, with these trying times, that did not happen. We are planning maybe something for next year. We'll see how it all shapes out. But, hold hope high, and maybe world will go back to normal.
If there is any semblance of normal, yeah. No, so my fiance and I were supposed to go to Florida. We've had to cancel that. And we're like slowly canceling everything else. But the one thing we've been able to continue to do was to keep meeting up for D&D. And I just want to say that like bi-weekly interaction just makes it keeps me going for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. I totally hear you. Well, I mean, we have a Discord with all of our friends, and we join up nightly to kind of hang out. Lauren and I will hang out on mornings and evenings privately, and then on weekends, on Saturdays, we kind of just do a movie night, and we have like this little community where we pick a movie for movie night. What we do is we watch two things specifically. We used to watch Harley Quinn as well, the animated series Harley Quinn, which is really good, but they're on season hiatus right now. We also continue to watch Kamen Rider 01, which is the newest version of the long-running Kamen Rider series in Japan. We are all kind of fans of the series to varying degrees. Some of us have our favorite ones, and I've seen maybe all of the more recent ones. Once we start going past the 80s, I haven't seen those. But we watch the newest episode of that, and then we watch our movie. And Kamen Rider's become just kind of this thing we look forward to on our week, and then the movie after that. And we sometimes play a Jackbox game or something after that, which I've been meaning to Geekers. I made him a Kamen Rider. Yes, Geekers made me a Kamen Rider fan. Started with Kamen Rider O's, if I remember correctly. I was bored at work one lunchtime. I was like, I need a TV show to watch at work. What is this Kamen Rider thing Geekers keeps talking about? Let me see where I can find to watch this. And that was history. Because I'll tell you right now, my next tattoo I'm planning is going to be a big Kamen Rider tattoo right on my arm. So that is going to be a thing.
So, does everyone know what Kamen Riders is? I know that I'm sometimes lost against it.
For anybody in the chat who doesn't know, so Kamen Rider is kind of a sister series to what you might call Power Rangers. In Japan, Power Rangers is a series called Super Sentai. Kamen Rider is a series that literally is made by the same company and runs alongside, and they do crossovers sometimes. But where Power Rangers is about a team of teenagers, Kamen Rider is usually about one dude, maybe sometimes several dudes, but usually one dude who can. So the standards are this: it is a dude who has a belt that has a superpower. When he puts on the belt, he gets a suit of armor of some kind. It could be magical, it could be scientific. It differs depending on the series. He gets a suit of armor and he fights for justice. It's always for justice. And sometimes it's hokey and funny, sometimes it's dark and serious, sometimes it's about killing God. There's a range, right? Like sometimes it's very kiddie, sometimes it's very adult. It's weird. But what happens is they run for a year, and then that series ends, and then they start with a brand new hero. So it's always the belt, the dude in the armor, the justice, but there's always a different theme. Like one year they did a guy called Kamen Rider Drive. The theme was cars, but he was a police officer. So he would have to solve crimes, and the thing was like, get your mind in high gear as a detective. Like these kinds of things. The current series is called Kamen Rider 01, and is about a guy who is a comedian who inherits a company that makes robots from his grandfather. So he now has to be the CEO of this company. And there's a whole subplot with an AI that's trying to take over Japan by possessing the robots. And he somehow gets a super suit that his grandfather designed that turns him into a superhero where he can fight these things. It has gone through some twists and turns. It is going to end in 4 weeks' time. And then the new show starts, which is Kamen Rider Saber, which we've only seen pictures of. We don't know what's going to happen with that yet, but we're going to get there. And I'm probably going to... My rule with Kamen Rider is I give it 3 to 4 episodes. If it doesn't hook me, I'm not going to watch the rest of it. If it does hook me, I'm in.
That's pretty much like my take on any other series that we started watching.
Yeah.
Like,
give it 2 or 3.
Like Norma, my fiance and I, we started watching Hunters, which is an Amazon series. It's post-World War II, where it's literally a small group of like Jewish people going off to hunt and find and kill Nazi survivors that have gone everywhere.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I can't stress that enough. I can't recommend it enough. It's so cool.
I'm trying to remember. Lauren and I recently finished Umbrella Academy Season 2, which was so good. I cannot wait for Season 3. That was amazing.
Let's talk about that real quick. I know that Ethan just finished watching it, right?
Yeah. Oh, I loved Umbrella Academy when it first came out, and we rewatched the first season, I don't know, 2 or 3 times before Season 2 came out. So when Season 2 came out, we were pumped. We were ready.
I sort of forgot a lot of what happened in Season 1 by the time Season 2 came out, and Lauren kind of had to jog my memory because she saw it more recently than I did.
Dude, I forgot that 5, it's only been 2 weeks since he assassinated Kennedy.
Right. There's a lot of time fuckery going on with this, and like the fact that they all like landed the same place but years apart is really cool. I don't want to get into like later game spoilers, but holy crap, that goes places, man. It's such good storytelling. Yeah, it's such good. Well, that wasn't the trailers. I think we're fine. It's such good storytelling. The characters are so great. The actors are fan. That kid who plays 5. My God,
he's fucking killing it.
Okay, let me say a thing real quick. can we get that boy to play Damian Wayne in something, because he's
Dude,
perfect.
he's fucking perfect. That never
yeah.
occurred to me.
So there were some scenes with Luther, Diego, and Five, and I kept going to Lauren, you know what this is?
Batman,
this
Robin. Yeah.
No, it's Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Damian Wayne having a conversation. That is literally their dynamic. Look at it. Luther is clearly Dick Grayson, right? Like he's the
poster child,
the poster child, right? He's trying his best.
Yeah.
Then you have Diego, who is a miscreant, right? He's out there to draw some blood and do some justice. And then you have Five, who is Damian, who is like, I'm smarter than both of you. Shut the fuck up, right? It's the perfect dynamic, and it's so good.
Also, quick side note, Kafira, if I'm pronouncing your name right, cool. If I'm not, I'm sorry. He deserves all the awards. That Aiden Gallagher, yeah. Yeah, I just saw that come up.
Kid's amazing. That kid is easily my favorite actor in that entire group. I mean, maybe I'll give Allison. Yeah, Allison's pretty good. Diego's good. Klaus is amazing.
Klaus is my favorite character.
Yeah,
I love
it's
him.
a standout cast.
He's so relatable.
And spoilers, he created a cult.
Right. That's in the trailers, but I think that's right. He named the cult Destiny's Child.
Oh,
so bad.
But because like the part where he walks into the room and he sees what happens at Allison's house, and he's just like, all right, we burying or we burning?
Oh man, but yeah, no. If you all out there, if anybody's on the fence about watching Umbrella Academy, let me put it to you this way:
I'm the daddy here.
It is like X-Men but irreverent, and it's like Doom Patrol, but it cares less about itself, which is a good thing. Trust me. Umbrella Academy is fantastic. It's easily one of my favorite things on Netflix right now. It's fantastic. We watched that. What else have we gotten through recently? There was another anime that we finished. We did Steins Gate, which I was kind of confused on because I hadn't seen the original one. It was Steins Gate Zero. Lauren's a big fan of it. That's another one to do with time travel, which I may not explain this right, but the interesting thing about how Steins Gate starts is a group of friends who are all like anime otaku. They're young people in Japan. One of them discovers a way to send text messages back in time.
Oh.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Cool. When you do that, it causes a butterfly effect and it changes the present. So it's effectively like time traveling. That concept alone is brilliant. That's amazing. Oh, and yes, she reminds me, you are also currently watching My Roommate is a Cat, which is a lovely little slice of life anime about a young man living on his own who comes into possession of a cat and needs to learn. The way the show is structured, though, is hilarious, because the first half of the show, the first 15 minutes of an episode, is him going, I don't know how to deal with this cat. I don't know how to relate to it. And the last half plays the first half back, but now you can hear what the cat is thinking.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool, right? Like, it's very cutesy. There's no high action scenes or anything like that. So if you're looking for an anime like that, sorry, no. But it is funny. It is cute. It is adorable. We've been having a lot of fun watching it. We're both, I guess, big cat people. She likes dogs as well, but you know, I own a cat. She wishes she could own a cat. She's slightly allergic.
My fiance wants a cat, and I'm allergic, and we still want a cat.
No.
Ethan had a cat for a little bit.
That anime sounds like the perfect anime for Kiwi Head.
Got one of your friends in chat there?
So, Kiwi Head is one of our buddies. He has a cat, and he had an apartment by himself with the cat, so it sounds like it'd be perfect.
I currently live alone, and I inherited this cat from my late father who passed on, and she's kind of, you know, that's a cute story by itself. She's kind of like attached to me now, and she loves me a lot, and I'm just trying to do my best to take care of her, you know. I love her too, and she's you know, nice to come home to, and she's puttering around the house and leaving her little stuffed animals everywhere. She's just adorable. Cats are great, man. We don't deserve. Kafera, my friend over there, Kafera has, is it 5 or 6 cats? It's 5, right? I lose track. Their house, whoo, buddy, just a cat playground. 5. Okay, yes, 5 cats. And I would. If she wants to give out her Instagram, you can see pictures of them. They're all fucking adorable.
What's up, Euphoric? Also, real quick, I know I haven't been like announcing every single time someone follows, but thank you for those follows, guys. You are not unseen. Thank you.
So yeah,
we're jerks. What can we say?
Yeah, it's a massive circle jerk. That's why it's in a triangle.
Circle jerk, yeah. Is it a circle if it's only 3? Okay, no.
Yeah,
no.
it's a circle.
No,
it's a circle.
No.
Hey,
No.
hey, it's okay.
My design sensors are kicking in. That's not right. No, I need to complain
Just
about
don't
it.
think about
No.
it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just don't think about it.
Oh my God, no,
that adds more. It's a trio.
You should see
It's not
me and
meant
my
to be a
friends
circle.
whenever. So I have this pet peeve when we're watching movies, and I think it pisses my friends off. But if we're watching a movie, and in the movie they use a font that is not appropriate to the time period that the movie is set in, I will complain very loudly about that. I know it's a problem. I know nobody else cares, but I care, and that's what's important. Toya, just nod your head and say yes. No. If they use Bauhaus and it's the 1970s, that font was technically not created. It's based on fonts from it, not that font.
No.
Oh,
no.
also,
So you're just like, font's font to me.
As long as we're not using Comic Sans, I detest Comic Sans
Everybody.
with a passion. I'm looking at you, chat.
So
you-
funnily enough, Comic Sans and Papyrus, not my worst font. The font I hate the most. And chat, listen to me very.
At least it's not
The
Papyrus.
The font I hate the most is installed on almost every computer between 1995 and now, and I absolutely hate it because
Arial.
it is the font that says it is the font that says, "Hey, look, I just learned how to change fonts." It is the font that says, "I need a font for this menu, but I couldn't choose anything else." It's the font that says, "I want to look regal, but I also don't want to spend too much money on a font."
Can I guess
And
the
that
font real quick? Can I guess the
Go.
font?
Go.
Okay, how many guesses do I have? Because I
You
think
got
I know
three.
which one. 3? Georgia.
No, not
Arial. Oh, wait, Times New Roman.
Not Times New Roman. Times New Roman is
Oh.
fine. Times New Roman is fine.
Okay. I used to be like, I used to study graphic design, so I know.
You get one more.
I got one more. Okay, chat. Oh, chat.
I'm seeing guesses.
I'm-
Edwardian script, Garamond, Papyrus. These are all strong.
It's not
choices.
Arial. Arial doesn't
Not
show enough
Arial,
fanciness, and it doesn't have.
It's not Garamond. It's not Garamond. No. Jokerman is
GTA.
pretty bad. Blaziken is also a graphic designer. Jokerman is pretty bad, but it's not my because Jokerman you can get away because you barely ever see it. The one I'm talking not Wingdings is fine, honey.
No, not Comic Sans. Wingdings
Not
is
Comic
fine.
Sans.
Okay.
All right, nobody's guessed it.
Okay,
Let me
I got
hit
it.
you.
I got it. It's
You
Gothic.
got one more guess. What?
It's Gothic.
It is not. Gothic's fine. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Okay.
The font I hate is Algerian.
Oh, I know
Algerian?
the one.
There is no reason a font needs serifs that blown out. There is no practical use for this font.
Here.
Sorry. Thank you for letting me vent.
You're good. Algerian font. I'm gonna look it up.
Algerian has a small second place to Monotype Corsiva, and then I think Papyrus, and then Comic Sans. In my
Look at
list
this
of
bullshit. Look at this bullshit. Oh,
Are
my
you
bad.
putting
I
a picture
totally
of somebody?
minimized everything.
eight-
That's what I get.
I have walked with friends into a Chinese restaurant and seen Algerian on their menu and go, no, we're not eating here. No, no. If they take as little care with their menu as they do with their food, I'm not staying here. No.
I judge them by their menu.
It
It is a sickness. I apologize.
just the same way that I judge Mexican places based on 3 things: the salsa, the beans,
Their tea.
and the cheese. Oh, and their chips.
Of course.
Chips,
The
4
tea.
things. And tea?
Sure.
Not the tea.
Nah, here in South Texas, you gotta have good sweet tea at the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, you gotta have good. I don't know. You have to have agua fresca, dude. You have to have agua fresca. You just
Like
you can't be a
real-
Mexican place
real
and not have good shit like that.
So wait, what fresca are you saying? What is the term?
Agua fresca. It's a it's
Fruity
a-
water.
Yeah. So like water,
okay.
like watermelon water, melon water. They pretty much like
Gotcha.
squeeze it out and shit and infuse it with water
Okay.
and sugar and a whole bunch of stuff. But
That
it's
sounds pretty good.
stupid good. It's like a whole Latin
sounds pretty
American
good.
thing. Yeah.
I've never had it before, but I mean, I'm close to like South America. You'd think like we'd get some over here by like osmosis or something, but yeah.
Osmosis. I don't know if it's correct me if anyone's from the region. I'm wrong because I'm like my parents were from Mexico, but I think it's just a Mexican thing. A Mexico thing. I could be wrong. If
I
I'm
have
wrong, I'm
one
sorry.
person who might be in chat if she's watching. She might be able to because her family's from Mexico, but I haven't seen her name pop up in chat. If she's watching, please feel free to chime in. But yeah,
God
no, that's
hates us.
well, we are next door to Venezuela, And currently there's a little bit of a political situation where the situation in Venezuela is not great. We have a lot of people who are coming over as refugees right now.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Unfortunately, you'd think for an island of brown people, we'd be less racist to people coming in, but no, apparently we are just as bad when people are coming into our country. It's a rough situation right now, but we are the majority of us, I think, are trying to be understanding that they have a bad situation going on, and we are trying to make some space for them here. We can only hope that that situation pans out pretty well. But there's been a lovely little trading of cultures lately. That's really nice, and it's great. Yeah, I'm saying that I hope their situation gets better, but for now, we are doing all we can for them in Venezuela right now. And,
I mean, that's all you can do, and it's perfectly understandable. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about politics.
I was going to point out, I just caught this thing on my arm, and I need to point this out. So right after the COVID ban lifted, and I was talking about my girlfriend before, and this reminds me, I will tell a little bit of the story to get to this tattoo, because I have to tell the story. When I told Lauren that I was in love with her, she told me that she didn't even tell me this. She sent me a link to a story that she wrote about a woman who went to Japan to get away from the feelings of a guy that she liked. And in the story, the woman was asked, what would you tell him if you could tell him how you felt? And she said, I would tell him that I loved him wholly and without regret. And so after we got together, just after COVID lifted, I went and got a tattoo of her handwriting that says, wholly and without regret.
That's sweet. That's nice. Was that the story that you were telling us about?
Yes, and I don't know if she wanted me to tell, but I had to tell part of it in order to get to this. So yes, I hope she can see me showing off her handwriting to the world, because that's why I got it, so I could show people that I have someone who loves me.
Hi, world.
Wholly and without regrets. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. Yeah, that's really sweet.
Thank you. Thank you. I've only recently started getting tattoos, like in the last couple of years, and I've just been doing everything I can with it, because I think if you are a visual designer, you have to love images and symbols to a point where you want to put them on your body. If you're not doing that, you're doing the whole visual design thing wrong. Now, I'm not saying designers who don't have tattoos aren't great designers. If you just don't like the idea of like getting needles in your skin, or you don't like the idea of carrying it with you all the time, that's fine. But I'm saying that as an employer, if you turn away a graphic designer because he has tattoos,
you're just doing a bad job. Right?
Yeah, you're just doing a bad job.
Hopefully, an artist would like to express themselves however they want, and that's probably something you want in a graphic artist.
So I mean, I've decided that. So I'm left-handed, and so all my creativity, as far as I'm concerned, comes out of my left hand when I design or when I draw. So I wanted to turn my left arm into a canvas of things that inspire me. So I mean, of course, there's my girlfriend's handwriting. I have the Sunbreaker symbol from Destiny, because that was an emotional moment for me when I got my Sunbreaker seal in Destiny 1. I have the symbol for David Bowie's final album, Black Star, on my arm, because his music has helped me through a lot of bad times in my life, and I wanted to carry a symbol of him. And also I have Saul Bad Guy's sword from Guilty Gear on my arm up here with one of the lyrics from one of the Guilty Gear songs, Ignite Your Rusty Heart, up on that. So, I mean, I will fill this entire arm up with just things that inspire me and things that keep me going, so I can just glance down it and go, here are the things that make me happy, and I want to carry that with me throughout life.
I get that. It's going to be your own little custom sleeve. That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. And I didn't want to just have them put a sleeve on. I want to. So when this is filled up, like when when I've run out of spaces, I'm going to fill in the spaces between with the line work and just make it all come together as like a cohesive whole. This will take years. This is a long-term project, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we got somebody in our live chat on Podbean. So everyone wants to say, "What's up, Dose?"
What's up, Dose? Sorry. Ethan's streaming over on Podbean. I'm streaming on Twitch.
Gotcha. Cover all the bases. I should have been streaming this on my channel as well, but whatever. The VOD will be up later. I can link people to that.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. We're going to put it everywhere. There'll be an audio-only version if anyone wants to go back and listen to it or clip their own little favorite area. Yeah.
I see a friend of mine, Brittany, in chat says, seeing that Neo Geo jersey has me in the mood for some Samurai Showdown. I could accommodate that this week, so I just have to reinstall it, because you see me when I am challenged, I am ready to go, my friend.
Dude, that looks badass.
Oh, my cat's
You got a little blocky, but that still looks badass.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, I will definitely. Well, I installed like Guilty Gear to play against him. I installed Street Fighter 5. He's been showing up in my chat lately, but he always shows up like when we're about to watch stuff, so I haven't had a chance to play against him lately. I do love playing fighting games. I stream them sometimes. I think I streamed some Guilty Gear recently as well. When I'm in between D&D sessions, Sundays right now I'm streaming ChronoCross. I'm kind of revisiting that. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And a friend of mine, Talon in the chat, asked me to show it to him. So every Sunday I sit down maybe for an hour or 2 hours. I kind of just barrel through the story and see how far I can get. I finished Death Stranding yesterday. I sort of want to delete my save file and start over and start streaming that because I want to do an analysis playthrough of that. I want to go through it. I want to talk about what certain things in the story mean because I love Hideo Kojima's work. I'm a big fan of Kojima, of Lynch, of these auteur artists who like make works that are dense with symbolism and meaning. I really want to talk about what some of it means. But I feel like having finished playing it, I'm sort of at the other end of it now, and I need to go back and like piece by piece kind of put my thoughts together, you know? I really want to do that. I really want to put that together. And I'm also been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator recently. I probably will do some streams of that. Still getting to grips with how it works on keyboard and joystick because I used to play it years ago, 20 years ago. Me and my brother used to play Flight Sim together. One of my favorite childhood memories. It's the only video game we ever agreed to play together because we did not have the same taste in video games. And so I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you know anybody else who gets emotional over a Flight Sim trailer, but the E3, when they showed that trailer off, the minute I saw an airplane and I knew it was the Microsoft conference, I started screaming. Any of my friends in chat who were there with me will tell you, they had to take their headphones off because I just started screaming at the top of my lungs, oh my god, it's Flight Sim, they brought back Flight Sim.
I mean, why would they bring back Flight Sim?
Well, I mean, for a while it was a lot of technical issues, but here's the thing, and I did want to talk about this on the show with you guys. I think if you are interested in video games, if you're interested in gaming as a whole, and specifically if you're interested in where we go in the next generation of games, you need to pay attention to Flight Sim, even if you don't intend on playing it. Because here's the thing, the stuff that game is doing is amazing. So the amazing stuff it's been doing is it generates the entire Earth based on up-to-the-minute weather satellite data.
Holy
and
shit.
On top of that, it will take the image of the Earth. It'll take the rooftops that it can see, and an AI called, I think it's Black Shark AI,
it's Cortana.
Will build. it'll build buildings based on the rooftops. So it'll fill in the walls, and it'll try to estimate what a house looks like or what an office building looks like, and it builds these whole cities out of extrapolated data. Now, some of the cities are handcrafted. Of course, the bigger cities like New York and London, they are handcrafted. But if you fly over your own house, it's probably got a little pre-rendered house ready to go there that's accurate to where it is in the real world. Now, there's an offline version of the game that comes on 10 DVDs because the game itself, the entire surface of the Earth takes up, I think the number was 2 petabytes of data.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
But because it's being streamed to your hard drive bit by bit over the internet, you can cut down on that in loading time. So I think the install on my hard drive right now is about 150 gigs. I budget about 200 gigs for it on a separate hard drive. I'm hardcore.
Real quick for everyone who doesn't know what a petabyte is, that's 1,024 terabytes. Let that sit for a minute.
Not gigabytes, 1,024 terabytes. So take your hard drive on your computer. If you got a 1 terabyte hard drive, 1,000 of those is a petabyte, and there's 2 of those that make up the entire surface of the Earth. And man, that game is gorgeous. So the thing is, like, if this is exciting, like I guess people don't know because people aren't really that into flights. It's a kind of a niche title. But if you look at what they're able to do with that, imagine what that means for the next Spider-Man game or the next open world GTA. Imagine a GTA game where you can drive from coast to coast in the US on an accurate map. I'm not even talking about the whole surface of the Earth. I'm just talking about the US, right? Like, imagine that's mind blowing.
When you didn't
like,
crash.
5 years ago.
I think that's like GTA 6. Like, that's their whole like end goal.
Well, hold on. Rockstar isn't owned by Microsoft though, and
No.
Microsoft's the only people that actually have the faster than light technology that Mixer introduced. That's the only. That's our theory. Ethan can probably collaborate on that as well. Like that's the only reason that Microsoft purchased Mixer.
The tech that Microsoft is using for Flight Sim is 2 things. It's the Black Shark AR, which I think is owned by Asobo Studio, so they're licensing that out. And the Microsoft Azure servers, which is what their weather data and map data runs on. Now, they license out Azure all the time. Azure is one of their main products. So anybody can use that once they pay the price. It's like Unreal Engine. Like if you're willing to pay the price for it, you can use it. Yeah. So I'm saying that with these tools at our disposal, I mean, I'm excited to see, because here's the thing. We've been chasing resolution and true to life graphics, like for a long time. And it's funny, I finished Death Stranding the day before I started playing Flight Sim, because here's the thing: at the end of Death Stranding, no spoilers, but I will say, one of the actors gives one of the best acted performances I've ever seen in a video game, hands down, no argument. I was in tears watching this, and because their face emoted so beautifully, it looked like a real person. The nuance of when the lips twitched and when the eyes darted around was amazing. So we've gotten to a point where we are like on photorealism. Like, where do we go from here? The answer is we stop talking about photorealism and we start talking about the size of worlds we can create, the accuracy. But more importantly than that, we start talking about ways that we can automate that design. Instead of having someone sit down and map out every inch of a city, make an AI that does it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go, AI, that's scary talk. But look at what it has done for us so far. Look at Flight Sim. Flight Sim is the future of gaming. Now, here's the thing. I'm a big Microsoft fanboy. I will not apologize
I am too. That's totally fine.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with Microsoft. They make a lot of good tech. They make a lot of good products. They don't market them well.
They don't.
That has always been their problem. That's
always
been. And Apple will always beat them at marketing, and Apple will always get the kudos for it because they make it sexy.
Apple can put out like a box of bullshit, market it like it's bullshit covered in gold, and it'll sell.
Yeah. And you know, not to start any religious wars in the chat right now, but I mean, these are facts. Like, Microsoft has been pushing the limits of technology for a long time now, but they cannot sell it to consumers. You know who they do sell it to? It's like the Azure stuff. They sell it to correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I do believe that PlayStation servers run on Microsoft Azure servers. I could be wrong on that, but I do remember at one point that was true.
I'm pretty certain they made the jump once the Play Store went down for like a week, and we killed Osama bin Laden or Saddam Hussein, one of the two. And hey, stop picking on Brendan Alexi, okay? He was working. I got your back, bro.
Brendan's a good friend of mine. Brendan is a local poet. I've talked about him before. That is Kafira's husband. Lovely person. His streams, if I could plug him for a second, his streams are, he plays Temtem, he plays Dead Cells. He'll just play whatever he's feeling like playing. Once in a while, he will
Can I get a shout out, please?
Social. Yes. He will do social streams where he'll talk about social issues, either in Trinidad or generally in the world. And I will come on sometimes and I'll talk through them with him. And it never gets to like shouting matches. It's always very, very erudite, urbane conversation, very lovely conversations about where the world is going. Very like mind engaging conversations that I feel like sometimes I can only have with him. So that's why I go to him to have those conversations. Sometimes I'll invite him onto my streams to have those conversations as well. And we get to some really big brain ideas that honestly, I don't think either of us have the qualifications to actually get around to doing some of the stuff we talk about. But it's fine to vent and to let these feelings out about where the world is. I don't want to get into finer details about that because I realize your show isn't about that. But if anybody in chat wants to see a show like that, I will point you to Brendan Alexi. I'll point you to my streams when he's on. Really fun, erudite, like really good conversational stuff. The serious
thing. We have a podcast like that too, where the four of us sit down. It's the Naked Podcast, and we just talk about what's going on in the world right now. And
I gotta get on that.
Yeah, definitely check it out. We're everywhere, dude. We've been doing this for like almost a year. Our 1 year anniversary is next month, and I need to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do.
Yeah, what are you gonna buy me, Alan?
I don't know, man, but we all gotta buy each other a gift.
Oh man.
AKA your brain. Yeah, there you go, Geekers.
Yeah, Geekers trying to shoot me down in the chat there. Brendan, really appreciate the love. Yeah, trust me, man. Like, you totally deserve that love. You are. I also shout out his book Monster Parts, which is one of the best collections of poetry I've read in a long time.
Monster Parts?
Yeah, I have a copy of it around here somewhere. Can we find that on Amazon, Brendan, or is that only through small press purchasing? I would love to push as many people's products as I can here right now, especially my friends who are local. Because we're a small island. It's fun to get people's names out there, especially since right now technically I'm on like I guess an American to international stage right now. I should shout people out and
yeah.
I
mean that's what we're about, man. That's the entire point of our Discord. That's the point of the Official Millennials brand, is we want to support everyone.
Yeah. I feel like I've been pushing people other than myself for most of this, but I mean, like, you guys are hearing me talk about myself. I mean, come on, I'm pushing myself as far as I can, right?
Yeah.
So we can open up to the chat. Chat, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
Ask away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's chat's turn.
What do you want to know?
Let's go,
Most
chat.
of these are my friends.
Don't
So
disappoint.
most of these people know stuff about me. On Amazon, boy, you reach.
Cake or death?
Cake or death? Because I am diabetic,
Cake.
the answer would have to be death.
I'll do. Hey, Toya, I got you. I'll do cake for you.
To death.
I mean, if I have the cake, I will then also have death. So I mean, that works out. Gaming with Laws answers cake. Yes, honey, you can have all of my cake for the rest of my life. I will give you all of my cake.
That's a good question by Skullgrin 140.
Oh, what is it?
Best video game experience.
Of the last decade.
Yeah.
You'll have to give me a second to think about this because there's been a lot of experiences.
You have 60
Honestly,
seconds.
if I had to pull it, okay, 60 seconds. If I had, like off the top of my head, if I had to say just one thing, it would probably be Destiny. Destiny has done things for me on an emotional level that I don't know if I can really articulate. Frankly, it's so I was talking earlier about the tattoo I got, and the thing about this tattoo is there's a moment in Destiny 1 where, as a Titan, you have two abilities. You have lightning and you have gravity, right? Like you have I believe it was a shield made of gravity, and you had a strike made of lightning that you could call down. You didn't have a solar ability, which is the third element, fire, until the Taken King expansion when they brought that in. And in order to get it, you had to play a story mission where you went to a place called the Forge on Mercury. And when you get to the Forge, there's a voice from one of the original Sunbreakers, and she tells you about their order. So the Sunbreakers were an order of Titans who broke away from the Vanguard. They wanted to forge their own path. Now, the Titans are famous for using shields and protecting. The Sunbreakers forged hammers out of their space magic, their light. They made hammers for themselves to fight with. And there's a story in the lore where one of them was brought to trial and asked why they went out into the wilds and sought fights with the aliens. Why didn't they stay at home and protect? And her response famously was, when you have a hammer, you have no need for a shield. I like that philosophy. I like the idea of hitting your problems head on in life and not racing from them.
I need to write that down.
Because when you attack the problems, you have to, and so the part that really got me is when she tells you that story, she then directs you to the Forge and says, reach in and draw out your weapon. Choose the form that your light will take. And those words, I don't know why, meant something to me. Choose the form that your light will take. So when I decided to get a tattoo, that was my first tattoo, because from this hand is where my creativity comes. This is where I choose the form that my light will take. And that's why I wanted that mark to stay with me. And it's important to me. So if I had to choose the best gaming experience I've had of the last decade that gave me the most, it was Destiny. And I'm proud to share that with Geekers over the last week, and he's been playing it on his stream, and he sees how much I love it now, and he sees why, because it's this intricate world that they built with so many wonderful characters. Yeah, Destiny has been the thing that's kept me going. It's been the thing that, coming off of, I was a big Halo fan, and when Bungie moved from that to do Destiny, I stayed with Halo, and I was like, I'm a Halo fan.
Yeah.
And then I got a little disappointed by Halo 5, and then I'm like, well, let me see what the guys over at Bungie are doing. And man, wow, okay, you guys just went all out on this, didn't you? Great, it's fantastic. Other people are asking questions. Let's see.
NJ asked, what one game that you play over and over and never get tired of?
I know this answer immediately. It is Capcom versus SNK2. I will never, ever, ever get tired of playing that fighting game. It is my favorite fighting game of all time. I will never get sick of that game. The music, the combos, the way it feels. I've never played another fighting game, even from Capcom, that feels just like that game. That game is butter to play. It is one of the most, like, my brain lights up just starting around in that. Just amazing.
Hey, Britty the Witty's got another question for you. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater or Death Stranding?
I have to answer this one.
I mean, you can opt to not answer it. It's up to you.
I think it's too early for me to say. So in terms of Kojima games and what they mean to me and what I think they mean, both of those games I feel are layered with lots of meaning. I've had more time to think about Snake Eater, though. I've just finished Death Stranding. I don't know if I can make that choice yet. It would be unfair to Death Stranding. Now, let me finish Death Stranding and write an essay about it first, which I've actually been planning a video essay about what I think about Death Stranding. And I may actually produce this, because I'm a video editor by trade. So I may actually make this and just get my thoughts out there. So in terms of that question, Brittany, give me some time on that. I will definitely give you an answer.
If you do make a video essay, I want to see it, because I want to play Death Stranding. It looks like a great, just chill, sit down game, and I like those kind of games.
Here's the funny thing. I don't. I hate them. I hate chill games. Like I love lots of action. I like lots of things happening. I like to keep my mind occupied. But the funny thing about Death Stranding was, it gives you space. And what it does is the game isn't get from point A to point B. As I've been telling people, this is what I got out of it. And the game is, am I loaded out right? Am I carrying my gear right? If I step on this next stone, am I going to stumble? Do I need to rebalance myself? Is there a recharging station where I can charge my exoskeleton? Is there a truck over there? Those moment-to-moment decisions occupy so much of your brain that you don't realize when you've started relaxing. And by the time you've got all that stuff sorted out, you're like, okay, I'm just going to drive to the next point. Maybe 2 hours have passed. And you're sitting there going, where did the time go? And this is one of the things I want to talk about in my essay, because part of Death Stranding's story, without getting too deep into it, is the passage of time. Time is messed up in the Death Stranding world. Whenever rain falls, it's called timefall. Whatever it touches ages incredibly fast. So your perception of time, and they make a point of this, your perception of time is warped. Now, I have a little secret to tell you. I think there's something real messed up going on with the map in Death Stranding. Because here's the thing. I have planned trips that look really long on the map, that look amazingly long, and they take like 5 minutes. But then I'll also plan trips that take 5 minutes, and they take 20 to 30 minutes. And it's not the obstacles. I genuinely think that the map in Death Stranding changes size imperceptibly to make you think that there's time fuckery going on. I can't prove that yet, but give me time. That video essay will be my thesis statement on that.
I like that theory.
Yeah, that is a really good theory. And I'm even more excited to play it now. And it's already been out for like a minute.
I think you should, because I was worried I wouldn't like it. When I saw the gameplay and I saw the delivery stuff, I sat there and I went, am I really going to do that for Hideo Kojima? Now, funny story about that. So I bought the game when it came out on PC, because I don't own a PS4. Not for lack of trying. I could never justify owning another system that I'm not going to play games on, because my time is limited. But I bought it on PC, loaded it up, and played maybe the first, let's say, 3 or 4 hours with a couple of crashes because my video card was a little older.
Yeah.
So I played 3 or 4 hours, and I thought to myself, I really like this game. I want to finish this game. Is this game going to keep crashing on my video card? Amazon.com, and bought a new video card. Now, the story gets funnier. The video card took two weeks to get to me because shipping delays for COVID and all that stuff.
I think I remember when it happened.
Yeah. Finally got it. Installed it in my computer and then realized, oh my, this case is too small to fit this video card.
Dude, I had the same issue. Like, okay, so one thing is that I like to play a lot is GTA 5 and Apex Legends. And I started seeing that I was having some video loading issues, so I thought, all right, well, let's upgrade the video card. So I did. I upgraded from a R9 270 to an RX 580, and that still wasn't enough because that shitty little processor, Intel processor, looking at you, Intel, just it couldn't handle it. So I went and got a beefed up version, and now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to play games.
This message brought to you by Rising Gang. But to continue that story, so I ended up buying a new case for my computer and rebuilt my computer that weekend. All of this just to finish Death Stranding because the game was that good. Yes, I rebuilt my whole computer to play Death Stranding, and I'm not sorry because now I get to play Flight Zone on the same machine.
You shouldn't. Although your video card might be screwed because the 2080 can't handle. I was going to mention that earlier. The 2080 cannot handle full resolution for that game.
What, for Flight Sim?
Flight Sim, yeah. There's already people stating.
I'm playing at a 1080. That's fine. I don't care. Cool. I have a 1080 monitor. I have not yet upgraded to 4K. That will come later, probably by Christmas, but I'm fine. Looking at other questions. Have you had any arcade experience memories growing up? Whoo, buddy. Man, the arcade is where a lot of us in the Caribbean grew up playing fighting games. Man, I'm trying to remember some stories off the top of my head. Playing Street Fighter 3 for the first time was an experience in and of itself. Playing Marvel vs. Capcom up at the Trin City Mall arcade. I know you know where I'm talking about, Strongy. Oh man, I can't think of anything specifically off the top of my head, but man, that is where you lived or died as a fighting game player, man. When there's nobody to explain the game to you, and like your next quarter was all you got to learn about the game. Until I got a PC at home and started emulating fighting games and learning how to play them like off that was all you had, was just getting better in the arcades. And that's how you become a better fighting game player, is playing people that you don't know. I want to run through some of these questions real quick as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Worst video game experience of the last decade. Worst video game experience? Man, what have I up and quit in the last decade?
Hey, Ethan, what was the most recent video game that you quit?
That I quit?
That you quit because it was a bad experience. Because I want to know what your answer is, and I'll give you my answer.
I'll think about mine while you guys are talking about it.
Probably World War II, Call of Duty World War II. I just kind of threw that one to the side and never looked back.
I'm trying to think of mine, and I don't know what it is.
So mine is.
Oh, I know what it is.
Well, let me give you mine. Mine's gonna be a little controversial because I know a lot of people love this. My worst gaming experience of the last decade was Fallout 4.
Yeah. What about Fallout 76? Because that one's worse, right?
I specifically didn't think I would enjoy it, so I stayed away. But the problem with me going into Fallout 4 was I saw that a lot of people loved it. Now, I'm very open-minded. I will give anything a chance. I did not really play Fallout 3, and I went, okay, Fallout 4 is coming out, big release, looks like a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I'm going to buy it. I was bored out of my... For the same reason we just talked about, I don't do mellow games. I don't do the wander around and pick stuff. No, I was bored out of it. And so here's what I gave up on the game. The game wanted me to build a machine in a town, right? It gave me the materials I need. And I hook everything up, and I go to turn it on, and it won't turn on.
Oh, no.
And the reason is that there is a wire in the machine that I've hooked up backwards.
Are you fucking kidding me? A goddamn wire.
I'm not an electrical engineer, but I think wires are double-sided, guys. I think there's not one way.
I can say Birdie the Witty has it right now. The entirety of EA.
Yeah, fuck EA. Except Fallen Order. I've been playing the game. I have been pleasantly surprised. I love the interaction in the game and how like everything's sort of tied together and you have your different options. But yeah.
Lauren brings up Sekiro. I'm still mad at Sekiro, but I'm not mad enough to give up on it. I will go back to it after I finish another playthrough of Death Stranding, because I will not let that game beat me. I love the Souls games. I need to finish Sekiro. It turns out, by the way, I found out... So I quit Sekiro for a while after I got into a fight with a boss that I couldn't beat, and then later found out that boss is optional.
Oh.
So I'm an idiot, okay? The game is fine. I'm an idiot.
So the game that I had a worst experience with was No Man's Sky. I pre-ordered it, downloaded it before, played it for 4 hours, and I play Minecraft. Like vanilla Minecraft is my shit. I can go through that and just power through. I'm a lot bigger into the modded version of Minecraft, and I used to host Minecraft servers.
Right.
But oh my god, it was so boring. I deleted it, uninstalled it, cleared all my user information, and I was like, hey, Steam, I want my money back. And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? They were giving everyone their money back for that, so it was understandable.
I didn't mind No Man's Sky. Like, I still play No Man's Sky every once in a while now.
Funny enough, 3 of the games you guys have mentioned as being bad, and I'm gonna call the names. We're talking about No Man's Sky, Fallout 76, and Anthem, right? All 3 of those, I immediately, upon seeing the trailer, went, I don't like this. I know I'm not going to like this. There's nothing to do in these games. I don't want to play them. And then they came out, and all my friends went, oh my god, I'm going to go play this game. And then they all come back and go, there's nothing in these games. I went, what did you expect? I told you from the first trailer, there's nothing in these games. I don't mean to say I told you so.
But you told him so. Yeah.
I also want to answer favorite voice acting in a video game that is not Tim Curry from Command and Conquer.
Tim Curry from Command and Conquer.
Spies! I want to seriously answer this question. I'm still on the fence about whether Death Stranding is the best voice acting. It's certainly the best facial acting I've seen in the game ever. Best voice acting, though? Legacy of Kain Defiance. The voice acting in that is superb. It is Shakespearean level, rich, velvety voice, and it has one of my favorite lines in a video game ever. And I'm going to try to offer this line up the way it is offered up in game. So the scene is Kain, who is the Lord of the Vampires, is surrounded by a group of human soldiers, and one of the soldiers says, "Stop there, vampire, and we promise yours will be a quick death." And Kain looks at him and smiles and says, I could promise you the same, human,
Ooh.
but it would be a lie. That line is the greatest line in a video game ever, and I love it, and it is delivered so sweetly by Kane's voice actor. Kane Raziel, who is played by, he played Prowl in Transformers Generation 1. What is his name? I am friends with him on Facebook. I should not be forgetting this name. All of the voice actors in that are top-notch. If you even just look at the cutscenes on YouTube, you will see what I'm talking about. There are lines that are lovingly delivered. The human voice wraps around these words in ways I cannot adequately express. It is so good. I know that made Skullgrin happy. He's a big fan of that series. Pretty's also a big fan of those.
Michael Bell, Greg Berger. What are you
Michael
talking about?
Bell, that's the name. Greg Berger is the guy who plays Grimlock in Transformers. I'm also friends with him as well.
Oh, okay.
I have a thing for voice actors. I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook.
Oh, perfectly fine.
I think I have aspirations to be that at some point in my life, but it's too much for me to pursue right now.
Is this why you're a DM?
Yeah, be a DM and I don't do a lot of voices when I DM. I mean, maybe I slip into them sometimes, and maybe I try real hard, but like I don't get into it. I mean, like I remember Lauren got me to play Darksiders 3. And there's a character in Darksiders 3, Vulgrim, and I love Vulgrim's voice, played by Phil Lamar. And constantly, for weeks after playing this game, I would just be doing Vulgrim's voice for no reason. Like, do make sure they scream, horseman. You know, I just love that voice. There's something about it. This will be fun for both of us.
I tried doing voices for my D&D campaign. Sometimes it's just my voice isn't all the way there. Like I feel it's just the same voice.
Alan. You do a great Russian and a great Hispanic voice, and they're just perfect.
I
think sometimes as DMs I think sometimes we think too much about I need to stay in character or I need to think about what's happening next. So your attention is very divided. So like if you can do the voices, great. If you have something written down that reminds you who. So there was a moment in our first session of D&D when we started the campaign I was doing, where I have a character who is a 5-headed dragon, and each head had a different accent. So in order to keep that straight, I drew a diagram of the heads with the accent over each one, and I would simply place my finger over the one that I was attempting to do, so I could glance down and see, okay, this voice do this. Thankfully, one of the heads didn't speak at all. And by the way, if you're not familiar with this character, this was in our Night Vale area. It is a 5-headed, 30-foot-tall talking dragon who insists that he is a 5'4" Asian man and is running for mayor. Hiram McDaniels is the greatest Night Vale character ever created, and I got to use him in my D&D game. It was so much fun. Nice. Do you have a voice actor crush? I'm going to point to my wall.
It's Mark Hamill.
I'm going to show you my wall. On my wall, I have right over there is a signed autograph of David Hayter as Big Boss. And I told my friend who got that autograph for me, I told her I need you to tell him that he is my hero. And when he autographed it with my real name, and it says, I'm no hero, I'm just an old killer.
Aww.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's badass.
Love David Hayter. He's one of my favorites because he's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer, he's done everything, and he's so talented. I love him as an actor, as a producer. Other voice actors I really enjoy. I mean, I'd have to say Tara Strong is high up on that list. She's a wonderful voice actor. She has such an incredible range of voices. Phil Lamar is another great one. Shout outs to a personal friend of mine, John Bailey. I don't know if he's watching right now. John and I and Geekers all together did Transformers videos on YouTube. And John has a talent for mimicking voices. So for a lot of this little Transformers community, John used to do an Optimus Prime voice, and it was dead on. Well, guess what? 10 years later, John is working for Hasbro now, doing the Optimus Prime voice. Yeah. And in fact, I will give him a really big shout out. He was in the Bumblebee movie. He played both Shockwave and Soundwave because Hasbro asked him to come in and do placeholder voices. And when they were done filming the movie, they were like, yeah, we're not going to get 2 actors just for those 2 lines. You are the voice. And he got to be in the movie as Shockwave and Soundwave.
That's fucking badass,
yeah, he's living the dream, right? Like, I love John to death. John actually voice coached me a little bit. I was never a very good student, but he did try with me, and I appreciate John very much. And John has been one of the most successful things to come out of our circle of friends John, you're a great guy. If you're watching this at some point, even if it's like a recording or something, I want you to know we all love you and we're very proud of your success.
Yeah, dude, I've heard stories about this guy from Geekers, and he just sounds like an all up, just badass guy. When I was doing the Geek Talk podcast with Geekers, he actually did the intro voice for it, which was always like pretty cool.
Yeah. No, he's just an amazing guy. Like, absolutely, like old. Our whole group of old friends, we're still around, kicking around, doing cool stuff all over the place. I'm very happy about that. I'm glad that I'm still friends with Geekers. I try to help his stream by coming in and sharing it and being there almost. I mean, his hours are the same hours I work, so it's fun to have a voice in my ear while I'm doing my work and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, now that you got him into Destiny 2, that's gonna work out.
Yeah. I can't wait till November when all that content goes free and he has even more stuff to do. Man, it's gonna be crazy. It is absolutely. We're gonna walk him through Forsaken. We're gonna do Shadowkeep. We're gonna do Beyond Light. It's gonna be great.
Hey, Ethan, you got anything else?
No, I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. Well, I think we're already wrapping up here. Touya, what do you want to shout out right now? Other than yourself, I'll do the shout out myself.
Oh, let me look in the chat here. I've already done plenty of shout outs to people like Brendan Alexi. Let me shout out my friend Skullgrin140. That's Sammy. Sammy's an up and coming artist. Check out his Twitter. My friend Mojo streams sometimes too. He's pretty cool. Benji, I don't think Benji has anything to promote, but I'm going to give him a shout out anyway. Geekers, pretty.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards, everybody who's here. Strongy, yeah, the game, Santi Manate, go and check that out. That is a fun project that we both worked on. That's amazing. My lovely girlfriend, Lauren, I love you so much, honey, and we are going to spend the rest of our lives together. I promise you that. I promise you so much. Yeah, and that's about all my shout-outs.
So I just want to say thanks to all the millennials out in the chat. I know.
Yeah, guys.
We appreciate y'all coming by, being part of the Discord, being active. It means the world to us.
Yeah. Brennan says, "Hi, Mom."
That's great. That is. I don't want to use those women.
Oh, sorry. Brittany, sorry. My bad.
Brendan's friends, though. Yeah. Brittany gonna kick your ass.
They're too close, man.
This weekend.
Hey, right, everyone. Alan, you cool with Raiden Extreme Cook? He just went live right now. So.
Fuck yeah, we're cool with that. Hold up, guys. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see, who we rating again? Shit, wrong thing. Raiden? How do you spell that?
Extreme Cook.
Oh, Extreme. Oh, we're rating Extreme. Fuck yeah, we'll rate Extreme. He's actually going to be our next guest on our next episode of Circle of Jerks. So let me get that up real quick.
Fantastic, I'll make sure to watch that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. He's a cool guy. He just got back from vacation.
Nice.
Oh, well, I guess
he's done a lot of work on updating his stream and stepping up into the affiliate world.
Yep. Where's Twitch? There it is. It's a DuckDuckGo search. But hey, guys, thank you for chilling out here.
He doesn't make extreme waffles, but he makes extreme destruction.
I like extreme destruction. All right, let me just quickly grab his username there. Sorry, I'm like jumping between two computers, so that's why I'm like turning back and forth. I got an iMac right here.
Stay with us, please. Technical difficulties.
Oh my god. So guys, we're gonna be rating our next guest here as soon as I do this. But hey, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you being here, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Make sure to follow everyone we shouted at, guys. No.
Share the love.
Yeah, share the love.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I do that?